Okay folks, so this is known as the high water mark, and this is really where on the 3rd of July the whole sort of Gettysburg thing came to a conclusion. It's all here. On this side over there you're going to see something called the copse of trees. There was some heavy fighting. The Union soldiers huddled up there to fight, and then over here this side is called the angle. These are all like very, very well-known terms in terms of this battle. Beyond that is a place called Barnes Farm, and but this really is where at 3:30 in the afternoon, sort of the Confederates were playing over this field here behind me, and they literally breached this. Some of them actually breached this wall here, and they were overwhelmed by Union soldiers. As soon as they breached this wall, the Union soldiers sort of attacked them and overwhelmed them. But this is how close they came, and this was sort of the final stand. This whole area is known as the Cemetery Ridge, I think, and over there in the distance where we were before, that's called Seminary Ridge, so it can be confusing. But this really is where they stood their ground, and like I said, I mean they actually breached this side, and they were sort of repelled, and that ultimately led them to fall back, and really to kind of lose this battle. But I mean, right here was sort of intense fighting. That over there on this side, this is known as the angle, and this whole area is kind of the high water mark, which I think is a very smart name for for how high they came up. This was the highest that they came up. After this, they moved back. But you can, and I mean, I don't know if that's actually true, but you can see those two buildings over there. If you look at sort of the photos of the time, there were buildings that looked very similar to that. So I don't know if those are the actual buildings or whether they've been rebuilt. But it just, being here, it's really fascinating and interesting. And for me, the piece that's phenomenal is just putting yourself in, imagining yourself in this battle, with these rocks and stones, and just seeing, thousands of Confederates, well-trained Confederates, already won a bunch of battles, very hard, attacking, for what they deem to be the most important thing, and their nation, and truly incredible stories here. This is a real battlefield. this is one of the battlefields that define America, especially in the US. Probably the most important one, I would say. And I don't know if Lene can catch this, but this is the copse of trees, which is you hear about so much. And then I'm just going to go, this side is the angle, again, just a little bit closer. This is known as the angle. I love that name, and it's because there's like an angle of fighting there, where again, actual fighting. I mean, most of the fighting was there in these fields right in front of us, but just right in front of us. In this, right here, this area, there was like a moment or two where the Confederates kind of, came into this beyond the wall, but they were quickly sort of, they didn't have the numbers, and they were sort of taken out there. But yeah, fascinating stuff, and yeah, really interesting, really different to be here. Really gives you a true sense of the place. And I mean, that's always why I love to go to actual places, to get the feeling of it. And you can sort of, you can imagine it and read books, but when you're here, it gives you a different angle. Definitely gives you a sense of the place. Actually, another fascinating thing is, if you can see that tree over there, there's like a tree there. That's the angle tree, and that's the actual tree still that was in that war, in that battle. The literal tree that was there. Isn't that fascinating? I love little facts like that. Yeah, that's the literal tree. All right, folks, thanks for watching this. I found this fascinating. Hopefully you do too. And absolutely come out here if you have the chance. It's well worth it.